Chris McClure here once again with another magnetic moment that I want to share with you from my book, The Magnetic Leader, the 18 Essential Actions of Leaders People Love to Follow. This one kind of is near and dear to my heart because of an experience I had with a leader that I grew up with. And he was my pastor. And I was a young kid. My family and I, we were new to the church we were going to when I was young. And I just remember seeing this pastor just love people like I've never seen someone love crowds of people before. And I thought that was normal until I grew up and realized that not everybody operates this way. And even writing a chapter in a book on leadership about loving people feels a little odd, doesn't it? Maybe you pick it up and you look at the table of contents and you come across that and you're like, I don't know about that. Loving my people that I lead. Because here's the thing, people are hard to love sometimes, right? I'm hard to love, you're hard to love at different times, I'm sure. Our spouses, God bless them, they probably think that at times. Our kids are hard to love, but sometimes we're hard to love when we're upset at them and they don't feel the love, right? And so leadership, loving people is hard because these aren't necessarily family members. These aren't people that we have to be around. It's part of our job maybe to be in that environment with them. But I really talk about in this chapter just how important truly understanding how a brotherly love, kind of an unconditional love, is as a leader. Because man, people are tough sometimes. But when we love them, when we care for them, when we go that extra mile for them, it makes all the difference in the world. So I start out the chapter just asking the question, what's love got to do with it? This isn't a song, but a lot of times we don't think about how love and leadership do connect up. And so I look into that with you and guide you through how this all connects in your leadership. But then I also look at the fact that love requires action. Love is an action verb. And I'm not talking about a romantic kind of love between a husband and a wife, or even a parental love between a child and a parent, although it can certainly apply. What I'm talking about is just giving towards other people, caring about other people, having loving actions towards those that we do interact with on a daily basis. And then finally, I talk about how love demonstrates commitment. See, we can't really love people and not be committed to them. And like I said, it's hard sometimes. And so that's when commitment is tested, is when it is hard, when it's challenging, when the people that you're leading are just tough sometimes. Maybe they're in a bad mood, or maybe they're just kind of hard people to get along with. But as a leader, if you can find ways to love them in tangible ways, that you show that you care for them as a human being, not just as a worker in your organization, it just goes such a long way. And it is very attractive. So like I said, my pastor that I grew up with, I remember just looking at the people that would come to him, whether it be in our church, in the lobby, or out in the community. People always felt like he loved them the most. People truly felt like they were the most important person in his life at that moment. And I truly believe that his heart was that they were. That he loved people in ways that many people would overlook or just forget about or not even try. And so as a leader, when we can have that kind of love, that unconditional kind of love towards people, despite their struggles, despite their shortcomings and all the things that make them tough to love, man, I'm telling you, it does become attractive because people want to be cared for. And when you are that kind of leader, then you will attract the kind of people to your team that you want on your team, and that will really go the extra mile to actually do the things that you ask of them because they know that you have their best interest in mind. So take a look at that essential action number 9 here in the Magnetic Leader. Like I said, it's a tough chapter maybe to read because it doesn't feel normal or natural in a leadership environment. But I promise you that when you start to implement loving your people, it changes things. So take care until next time.